Hello everyone, Alex, and welcome back to another video. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody for showing crazy support on the latest internet sensation .shop drop. It's out right now, so if you go to the link in the description, you can pick up a hoodie, a t-shirt, or some socks. If you do, please leave a comment and please tag me on Instagram or Twitter, and I will be following people back. The support has been crazy. I appreciate it. Let's get into the video. Alright guys, so today's video is a bit wild. It's involving Trisha Paytas. She has called out David Dobrik, but she's powered up with the one and only Jeff Wittek, the man who David Dobrik nearly crushed. It's quite a formidable duo, and the stuff that they said in the podcast is very damning, and it makes me think that when all the information is available, David Dobrik might be completely finished.
To you, you're this guy now, you're like the bros with them, you have genuine friendships, and it was just so interesting to see like the turn, how they were all like so close. He's in your documentary, he's showing up to the hospital for you, and then like all of a sudden the turn.
Well, that's the Kool-Aid shit, you know, that's the Kool-Aid stuff, because like I was there that night when you got checked in, you know?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
I was outside though, in the waiting room. I just heard what was going on. But
why?
But if they say, so if you're with your boys and they're like, oh, this person's crazy, you know, like they need to be banished or whatever, you just believe that at the time.
Is that what
like
they said that
I
night?
had to be, I needed to really see things for what it was. Like, I mean, I'm almost embarrassed of it looking back, like saying like, oh yeah, this didn't happen. But if you look at Dom and you listen to all the other girls that have allegations against him, like it's not a coincidence, you know?
He was so creepy.
Yeah.
Always.
Everyone. I mean, Briley Reed has talked about it, how she was like, you know, not wanting to do it, and they tried to push her.
Yeah, and all I said on the podcast, because he made an apology video where like he cried and stuff like that. It was like, I can't believe that I'm not like going to discredit anybody, but like after I put out my thing, and then I put out mine, and I was like, yo, they knew about this shit. They knew about it the like week after.
So for people who aren't aware, one of the things that David Dobrik is in big trouble for, you know, actually probably in bigger trouble for this than nearly actually accidentally blinding Jeff permanently on the excavator prank that he pulled on him, is that there was a vlog that David Dobrik willingly uploaded where he sent his friend Dom into a room with two drunk college girls and basically like encouraged him to sleep with them, and then they ended up coming out later and basically saying that they were assaulted by Dom. Now this was filmed, vlogged, encouraged, and uploaded. Now a lot of people weren't aware of what happened, but what Jeff is claiming here is that many people who were in that group were actually very aware that something very terrible had happened about a week after that thing went by. And that situation stayed quiet for years. And Jeff, who was a member of that, is basically saying that he was just kind of left in the dark. They just didn't tell him that their mate had done something horrific, and they'd put it in a vlog and then kept the video up. The thing is, right, let's say David didn't know when he sent him in there that he was going to do something absolutely horrific, something heinous, like some terrible crime. When he did find out, why didn't he take the video down? You know, why didn't he do that? You filmed a crime taking place. Surely at some point you'd remove that. You know, like you literally filmed the crime. It's not like he's taking videos down with somebody he's collabed with. You know, that's debatable. No, you filmed the crime and then you left it up on your YouTube channel. And there's something really sick about that.
They knew about it the like week after, and we were never told. And we're putting those videos too. Our faces are in those videos. Like we're all, you know, a part of this now. And nobody told us.
Yeah.
So I brought Dom on my show. I had him on the barbershop show. If I would have known he was doing shit like that, you know, I would have absolutely never associated with him. Still to this day, I have friends that screw up. I cut them off. I don't associate with them. I don't care how funny they are, what they do for my videos. If you fuck up and you do some weird shit like that, I distance myself. You know? And I made a video saying like, yeah, I realized, you know, that you know they knew about this, and I don't like that. I don't fuck with that. Like that, you know. And now I'm gonna make my decision, you know, based off that. I'll probably take a step back. And then Natalie called me the next day. She's like, David, saw your video. He's not gonna like that. You fucking delusional.
God,
you are insane. You know, Jelaine.
Yes.
You know?
No.
That's insane. That's crazy. He uploaded a video when it came out. Somebody he knew. Somebody who he also knew, by the way. He may not have been very close friends with him, but you know, totally within his right to talk about somebody who was in his vicinity, somebody he collabed with. He went, look, guys, this is a big deal. I want to take this seriously. And David called him up like some form of mafia boss and went, well, he got his assistant to do it. You've upset the family. That is mental. But that's the type of cultish behavior that can form in like a YouTube group. Like the idea that, everybody does what David says. I guess that seems to be kind of the way that they toe the line. It's like if David decides he's going to kick him out, you kick him out. I reckon David was sat there when Jeff said, I'm taking this very seriously. I think that, the accusation of assault is a big deal. I don't want to be friends with somebody like that. I think David sat there and went, I won't be able to use him in the vlog anymore, Jeff. Dom was one of my great puppets that I had, and now I can't put him in anything because you've basically come out and co-signed the victims. That's what I personally believe happened. I think David would have been absolutely fuming at the idea that Jeff had robbed him of somebody who he can collab with on a regular basis. I think he was probably more annoyed at that than he was at anything else. I reckon he was absolutely devastated when he saw Jeff come out being an upstanding man, or somebody who at least tries to be, and went, look, I take allegations of assault very seriously. David probably was fuming. I mean, he sent his assistant to basically send him what is only I could describe as a threat. No, you might not be in the vlogs much longer. And then they tried to cave his head in with an excavator. Maybe he did it on purpose. Maybe David did it on purpose because he was so upset that Jeff was standing up against his creepy mate, who everybody on the podcast just all said was creepy. That's funny when that happens, isn't it? Have you ever been in a room where somebody goes, oh, that guy, but everybody goes, oh yeah, the creepy one. And you're like, well, why has he been invited to this private party then?
That's a whole other thing, my issue with Natalie. People are like, why do you hate her so much? And I'm like, oh, she is. She's like rotten.
Yeah, I didn't talk to any of them. When the documentary came up, I would get a call 10 times a day because they would want to come edit it. They want to come see the cut before it went out. So wait, we need this to line up with the case. Like if anything comes out, like we need manipulation and I can't wait. I'm telling you, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard Part 2.
Do you think it'll go to trial?
I hope. I would love for it to, yeah.
Which is like usually like anyone who would do it for clout or whatever, which is not, you should get paid and compensated for your whatever, usually would just want a settlement. But the fact that you like want to go to have trial and have this all come out, like I think that says like a lot about your like story just in general.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, it does piss me off when I see comments of people who don't know shit, but you can't let that really get to you. Like people will say stuff that I'll read and I'm like, fucking, I wish I could just come out right now. But you just gotta eat it and wait for the time.
That is big news, by the way. The fact that Jeff wants to take this to court, which he has done, and then is going to take it all the way to trial. He's not looking for a settlement. I had people in my comments being like, oh, why didn't he just get a settlement? David Dobrik's like really rich. Just settle the case. And it's like, he doesn't want money. Jeff is probably relatively well off and seems to be doing quite well for himself. His podcast is quite entertaining, actually. And then he's like, no, I just want people to know. I just want people to have David Dobrik stand up in a suit and have to admit to all the things he's done, which will be absolutely insane. And that's probably the closest thing to justice that you'll get. David Dobrik got Jeff Wittek onto an excavator, span him around without telling him he was going to do that, and then gave him like forever lifelong injuries where he's potentially going to be blind in one eye, brain issues, he's fucked him up massively. And then he also basically seemingly covered up an assault of his friends and seemed to be quite aware of his behavior and in fact would threaten other people. Not the guy who was being the one who was the brand risk. I love this, by the way. This happens a lot. Guy does something really fucked up, like assault somebody, and everybody goes, if you speak about this, then, he's one of the boys, don't talk about it. Just leave it, don't backstab him. And it's like, surely you should be telling your mate just not to assault people. Then none of us would be in this situation. He's put us in this terrible place. If our mutual friend didn't do anything fucked up, then we wouldn't have to answer for anything, would we? That would be a lot easier on everybody. Maybe don't do the crime so nobody else has to decide whether they're gonna, fuck over their boy. But if my boy commits any crime like this, they're no longer my boy instantaneously. It's like John Wick, excommunicado oficial. I wish it was like John Wick. They should send the same people over to go and get him. I feel like there's some really crazy stuff that is being hidden in this David Dobrik case. It seems like a lot of people have stories they don't want to tell because David Dobrik is still very relevant right now. If you don't know where he's been, he doesn't post on YouTube anymore, but he's making hundreds of thousands of dollars off of Snapchat right now on the new Snapchat creator program. In fact, I've seen him literally steal content and post it and like make money off it. So the guy is like on his ultimate like lazy, I don't give a fuck anymore grind where he's just like posting as many stories as possible to make money. He is arguably maybe even doing better financially than he was off of Snapchat than he ever was off YouTube because all of his videos used to be copyrighted, which makes you wonder why he fought so hard to, keep videos up with some absolutely horrific creep in them instead of, taking responsibility and, doing something that people would have earned a lot of respect for by being like, my mate is a horrible fucker. But the thing is, David and Dom, I think they grew up together. He brought him all the way. So I guess he kind of sees him as like, his boy, his responsibility. But why would you want to be friends with somebody like that? Somebody who's just genuinely so creepy and so incredibly weird. Like I remember going to LA and there was a VidCon and there were stories about him being weird at that VidCon, nothing that was like criminal, but just like going out to people and just like being really like sleazy. But hey, that's LA. That's LA YouTube.
I saw David in Vegas like 6 months ago or like 4 months ago. That's the thing. That's in my memory. I know 4. It was around. Was it around like 4? Like yeah. 4. So I just got pissed off seeing him around at parties. Like after hearing what the courts are saying, like they just try to dismiss shit and just fucking call you batshit crazy. So I was like, yo, if you're going to be out here doing that, you can't do that. Like, pick one or the other. It's either going to stay in hiding and make those lies and accusations, or don't come out to parties that I'm at. Like, I was clearly there, and now we're crossing paths. It was like an influencer event, or what? How did... Yeah, it was like a Vegas, like, just, I was there with Mike and a bunch of people. So I pull him aside. Let's just have a talk. Like, it's probably not, you're not supposed to do that, but I don't give a fuck. I got nothing to hide. So he was like, I know why you're talking about you, or why you're talking about me. You want me to respond. And I was like, I'm talking about myself and shit. I'm living with you, narcissist fuck. You think I'm talking about you to get a response? Yeah, respond.
Said that?
Respond.
Yeah. That's what they... Yeah. Oh.
They think they're higher, like above people because you can't talk about shit.
I was like literally
You're just not talking about because you got shit to hide. You'll get caught up in a lie. That's why you're not talking.
So did he end up paying for all your hospital bills?
That's going to be fun when we get to that in trial.
Because Natalie said yes, they did. And he said yes, they did. And you were like, no,
I can't wait to expose Natalie's lies. She's next level, like crazy shit. That's something I want to avoid because it's a big part of the case.
Yeah, she's scary.
But yeah, the truth will come out.
David and him spoke, which is crazy. I actually can't believe that. That's not something you should really be doing when you guys are, about to fight out a massive court case. And David said to him that the only reason he's talking about the fact that he had his eye crushed in, which is something you can't really avoid talking about, right? Like if you have your brain, cut in half by an excavator. He's gone, you're just doing it for my attention. You want me to respond to you. Wow, that is insane behavior. Like, he's talking about a story that you gave him, by the way. And by gave him, I mean you nearly killed a man. And his response is to basically just be like, oh, yeah, well, the only reason you bring it up is because you want my attention. Because I guess what he thinks is that Jeff should have just been like, oh, shit happens. Let's go back to the vlog, David, and I'll toe the line. I think he sees Jeff as somebody who, I guess, is disgruntled. Obviously, David didn't really kill him, so he is disgruntled. He's not wrong, if that's the case. He's like, he's clearly upset with me. Oh, now he's got to ruin everything. And it's like, well, yeah, because you nearly killed him. And it all happened because apparently they missed payments for his hospital bills. So that is currently like the story that is available and, seems to be the one that Jeff is reiterating. But why is, like, Natalie going around like I know she's his PA, but, like, she's going around like, genuinely, it's like Jelaine and Epstein. Like, she's just, like, sat there to cover up everything that David does. Very weird behavior. Very weird people, man. I used to enjoy the vlogs because I thought that they were skits. But now realizing that all of the fuck shit that was going on wasn't actually like a pre-planned joke, and maybe it was just like legitimately the way they were behaving, really makes you go back and watch them and just they're like, oh, this isn't a joke, so that means it's not funny because there's no irony here. It was funny when you thought it was ironic. Then you realize it's just all real, and you're like, oh, they were just dickheads. Oh, they're American. Sorry to the Americans out there. It's not all of you, but it's people like David. And the crew. Well, it seems like this upcoming court case is going to be crazy. There's also a documentary that hasn't been released yet that is made by Casey Neistat. And in that documentary, apparently, so far, the leaks are saying that David Dobrik basically blames everybody who was involved in the assault and Jeff Wittek for only talking about their stories, about the horrible things that happened to them, basically by a byproduct of being in the vlogs of David Dobrik for attention. That seems to be what he genuinely believes. He's like, I'm big famous David Dobrik. The only reason you want to pull me down is because it gets really good numbers. And I guess that it props you up without you having to be in his vlogs. Why would two girls who talk about an assault be doing it for attention when I've never heard of them since? I've never seen them vlogging. I've never seen them make a YouTube video, right? And I don't even know what their faces look like. But David generally believes that they called out Dirty Dom for attention. He's a sick individual, and I think what he deserves is coming to him, and it's going to be crazy, and I hope we get to see the Casey Neistat documentary at some point. Apparently, it hasn't been bought yet by somebody, so that's what we're waiting for. But really crazy stuff, man. The internet is wild, and it seems like for David Dobrik, it's only going to get worse. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to check out the hoodies, the t-shirts, and the socks in the description below, internetsensation.shop. And please, if you want to watch another video, click on the end screen and subscribe. Bye.